Hello and welcome to the Isalloni Knits podcast. This is a podcast about knitting, dyeing and spinning. My name is Claudia Gabriela and I'm coming to you from Talville, a region near the Zurich city in Switzerland, where I live with my beloved husband, Adrian, and my sweetest cat, Max. How are you doing? How have you been going? It's 2 weeks since the last time I recorded the episode, I think it's 6, that was my comeback after 2 years of not recording anything. But I am happy to be here again. And for the new viewers, welcome to stopping by. And for the returning viewers, I hope you're doing well and thank you for coming back again. So today, did I say what it is? Today is Saturday, January the 30th, and it's almost February. The time flew. It's incredible. And yeah, well, this episode I will be talking about my ongoing projects, a few finished objects that I've been doing, that I finished last year. And one of these is this pullover that I'm wearing. And this one that is accompanying me to the podcast is an owl. And then I will be showing you a new cast-ons that I mentioned last episode that I wanted to cast on. Then I had some packages arrive at home during the past 2 weeks. So I will be sharing that. And at the end of the episode, for the ones that you want to catch up about live, I will be talking about what has been going on here the last 2 weeks. And yeah, so welcome. Please have a seat, I don't know, grab something to drink, and I'm drinking some tea. So last time I showed you 3 working projects. One was the shawl by Natasha Hornby. This shawl, I didn't touch it because I got really hooked with my blanket. I showed you as well my blanket, which has grown since the last time I showed you. And then I started test knit. I don't know if you know, but if you follow me on Instagram, I really enjoy test knitting and help designers with their projects. And this I think it was last week that was announced, or 2 weeks ago, I don't remember pretty well. In Instagram there was a post saying test knit call. There were some beautiful socks for a new designer to me, Salt and Stone Knits in Instagram. So I signed on. I got in a new platform that I will be talking about later at the end of the episode, and I got picked. So I will be showing you those 2 projects, and then the beanie also that I mentioned that I wanted to knit the last episode. That was for my nephew. So let's start with my blanket. That's something that you showed last episode that I mentioned, and this blanket has grown. So now it's very huge, as you can see. I think I have a stitch marker here. A progress marker. This one is a very lovely cup of coffee project stitch marker, and I will show you because it's part of the acquisitions that I got last week, the last 2 weeks. So last time I showed you I was here, so the blanket grown all of this. So as the yarn that I'm using to make my blanket, sorry if I am covering myself, but this is huge. Look at this. So I think I will make a bit, this color I want to make the same size of this one. So I think the blanket is until here right now, but I want it to cover my entire body. So I am 1.70 meters. I don't know how much that is in feet. Yeah. And the goal is to cover my husband as well. He's 1.80 centimeters. So yeah, and the yarn that I'm using, it's Nutiden yarn. That is a Swedish yarn I mentioned that in my last episode, that is a type of yarn that is unspun. So now I was doubling, holding the yarn with a silk kid mohair that was in this part, but I ran out of that, and that was a discontinued yarn that I had in my stash, so I wanted to use that. I mean, and now I'm using 2 of the strands held together, which is I don't know if you notice. Yeah, you can notice a bit, because here this part has kind of orangey tones in the silk kit mohair, and now it's just 2 strands. And it is fine. It's a bit rustic, this part, because of you don't have the silk and the mohair, but it's working fine. So I'm planning to finish this. I don't know if I will be doing this in the next episode, but it will grow definitely, because it's a mindless knit that you can make while you are watching something on TV or listening to audio books or watching podcasts and catching up with other fiber folks. So this is my blanket. There's not a pattern, it's just garter stitch, so you can make it. I didn't mention, I cast on 300 stitches for this blanket, and I am using what is the size of this? 5 millimeters, and US, I think US 8. So this is kind of a worsted. If you hold it double, makes a worsted or aran weight. And yeah, I love it. So that's the progress on my blanket. Then the sock that I mentioned that I signed up for test knits. So this is the Harleen socks that is by Salt and Stone Knits in Raverly. I don't know if she has a Raverly. I suppose yes, she does. But in Instagram, because I follow her in Instagram, and it's where I found about this test knit. So it all took me to there. So I will be creating my project page in Ravelry, so where you can see all the references, and I will be linking down. I mean, this pattern will be published on February the 19th, and I have to be done by the 14th. So this is growing very fast. It's very fast and entertaining. And it is just I am changing a bit of the kind of knit, because from a mindless knitting in with my blanket, I am just kind of keeping concentrated this, because this pattern has charts, if you know how to read charts, and then they also are combined with written instruction, which is very well written at the beginning. This is, well, I cannot tell you what other techniques these socks uses, but I can show you, because it's a free test, kind of, I wouldn't say free, that you can show the pictures, because there are some test knits that are secret test knits that you cannot show any picture. I posted yesterday a picture in my Instagram. So look at this, it's a very nice construction. So what is interesting about these socks is the fit, because it's constructed in such a way that it's going to snuggle your feet. Yeah, so I tried it on. It's perfect. It reminds me the socks, I don't know, for the ones who run, if you are a runner, or if you ever run and then you wanted to have some specific socks for running, that they are kind of very snuggly in the sole. It reminds me that. That's when I saw the socks in Instagram, I wanted to knit, because it intrigued me, the technique. That is also why I signed for test knits, because I learn a lot by test knitting those. So here I definitely learned how to make this the toe. I forgot to mention this, but you can see it. These are toe up socks. So I'm making the ankle version, because you have ankle and then the larger ones, and I can quickly show you the picture, but I don't know if I'm going to make a good I don't know how it's going to be shown on the picture. I need to hide instructions, but you can see the picture on Instagram anyway. But these are the socks, you see. I'm trying to, okay, the light is there, you see. They're pretty nice, And I am planning to finish this by next week. I think I have enough time. I will finish this tomorrow. Yeah. Then that was the sock for the test knit that I'm making, and I am using another Hojilo. Well, it's not Hojilo is the maker, but the company is Hojienko. And this is a box sock. I think it's called a box, and it's perfect for socks. You see, and then you can carry it like that. And I use this as a purse as well. Sometimes when I go to do the groceries and I take it and I just put my phone, my wallet, and it's perfect. It's perfect for that. So, and here it is, another progress keeper, and it's part of the acquisitions that I had. It was a set of stitch markers, and this is a tiny teeny sock. Look, it's so cute. Yep. So that's the sock that I am making. Then, and the last project. So last time I mentioned that I wanted to make a beanie, a hat, that for my nephew. I hope to be able to finish and send it before it gets warm, right? But it's very cold lately. So this is the, let me check. It is the baby bird hat, and I think they have a name because it's a hat that you can protect as well your neck and then your throat here. And it is called balaclava. I don't know if that is a word in Swedish, maybe. I don't know. I will put some details below. So this is the hat that I am making. This is the baby bear, and I started. I didn't go that far, but this is the part where because you begin from the face and then you make the rest of the hat. So I am using also a discontinued yarn that I had in my stash. I started knitting from my stash, which is a great accomplishment. So I got, this is, it was an old brand in Switzerland which was called Schulana. I don't know if they're still on business. I think it's quite some time that they got out of business. So I had this yarn, and this is a blend of merino and cotton. So I am holding together, and then the plan, because this yarn uses fingering weight and then silky mohair. So this is the part that you put in the face, so it is not very fussy for the kids with the mohair. You know, the mohair has this halo and it's fussy, not only for kids but also for adults. But yeah, and then in this part you add the silk mohair, which I will be using this one I had in my stash, which is in my yarn, and this is silky mohair, and in the color is a mouse, because it looks like a mouse, you see, and it gets together well with this too. So I will be holding this together with the part which is the warmer part that covers your head and here. So I need to wind this one, and yeah, so I am in the ribbing part. I finished, and I am using, that's the I didn't bring it anyway. So these are the needles that I mentioned last time. Those are the 12 centimeters, I think. Let me check. So these are the Chagu minis that I mentioned. There's a small set that you can knit in the round. It's easier because you don't have to do magic loop or use 5 needles, double pointed needles. It just flows. And whenever I'm using this, I don't know, I need English style. I am a continental style. And with this, it's hard for me to make it continental because I have to knit like this, but throwing the yarn, it's easier with these ones. So that is my work in progress. Hopefully, I don't think by next episode I will be done, but definitely there will be progress here. So those are my work in progress. Let me grab some, let me sip a bit of tea because I'm getting dry. Now, let me show you what I'm wearing. this one, it's a dear pullover of mine. So I finished this, I think it was in October last year. I don't remember, I need to check my Instagram when I posted this one. So what's the story behind this pullover? This pullover is by Nora Gogan. I suppose is that how you pronounce the name? If not, I'm sorry. But it's a design that was published in Making magazine issue number 10, which the name was Intricate. So this pullover is called Intricate. Is it how you pronounce? Well, Intricate. And it is, I can show you because I have the magazine here. That was the 10th issue of Making magazine. I love this magazine. I am subscribed. And to tell you the side note anecdote, they started making kind of a preview program, which means it's not a test knit per se, but they gather people that they saw the feed. I think it was on Instagram. The first time I was contacted, it was back in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. So they contact you and ask you if you will be interested in making one of the projects that are coming up in the magazine in the next issue before the release. So they will send you previews of the patterns, and then you can choose. You can choose if you're a knitter, of course you choose the knits. If you're a sewer, you can choose the sewing projects and embroidery and such. So I am a knitter, so I chose from the PDFs and previews of the patterns that they show. They send, and then you can choose, and they give you a deadline. So you have to be done by the deadline. So when they announce that they are publishing, all your pictures should be in Instagram, I think Ravelry as well. And then yeah, which is I find it fantastic. This was my third time participating as a preview program, and I chose to knit this pullover, which is fantastic. So I will go a bit closer. I don't know if you can see this. I don't know if it's this intricate design. No, I chose to use this yarn. This yarn is Isalloni. It's a yarn that a base that I will be bringing to the shop, and it's a 95% wool and 5% of mohair, and it's a dream to work with. It's a bit itchy because of the mohair, but it's tiny teeny. I always wear my pullovers with something in under, because that also helps preventing, how do I say it, the sweat going into your wools, which at the end attracts moths if you don't wash them. So yeah, we can talk in another time how to look after your knits. And one is one of the things is just always wear something under your pullovers, so your woolies are protected, right? So this yarn, it's an 100%, well, I would say non-superwash, and it is Aran weight, and I use needles 4.5 and 5. You can go from 4.5 to 5 depending on your gauge. I am a very tight knitter, so I always use, depending if the knits call for a higher number, I always adjust to it because I am really a tight knitter. So it is, let me show you the pattern. How silly. Let me find the pattern, the magazine. And I made, there is just one version, one size of the pattern. It's a cropped size, but you can make it longer if you want. So this is it. There you have, you can see it in a better way. So this is the intricate pullover, and that's what I decided to make. This is, it's beautiful. This one, it was made, I don't know, let me check what was the yarn they call for. Where are you? Well, if you have the magazine, you know what is the yarn that they use to make this project, but I chose to. Now, I know that it's a tweed version, but even though it's a tweed, you can see the details. Look at this. Can you see this intricate? It's so beautiful, and it's like triangles. And there is a new book that Nora released, I think 3 weeks ago. I got it, and it's called Twisted Stitches, I think. So in this book you can see, because this is a twisted stitch, and then it's texture, so it's just purls and knits, twisted knits, it makes this design. So the collar is a round collar, and then they use let me show you. This is the cuffs. The cuffs they use is, I think it's called broken rib, this one, because in one you're purling. Now, the funny thing, another anecdote of this pullover is that I made it opposite here. I don't know if you can. I will stand up. Can you see the difference here compared to this one? Yeah, because I did it the opposite. So this is the correct one, but it's okay, no one noticed it. And it is good anyway. So that's very weird for me. I'm a very perfectionist, and I like to have things very well done in terms of needs. So if I have a mistake, I will frog it and start again. But this one, I found out when I was making this, and I say, how weird, they don't look like the one. Yeah, pay attention to the instructions always. Oh my god. So that was the anecdote. So anyway, it looks like, oh, okay, I like how it looks like this. I like how it looks this one. So all good, right? So it's your project. Yeah. Next, and also from the magazine, this tiny teeny owl. You see? This owl, it's called the Love Owl, and this was made by the only one, Susan B. Anderson, of course. She makes lovely toys. I think this is, I don't know how many toys I made from her. I made a giraffe long time ago for my niece, and this one is for my nephew. So is this, look at it. You see how cute they are? Oh, and I learned this. This is the first time of me embroidering, because it has embroidery. You see? It's fantastic. And then some appliques. I'm looking at the camera here to make sure that I am showing you the correct stuff. So it has some appliques and lovely felted eyes, and this one is the French knot. First time making something like that. Then this one is embroidery. It's easy. I don't know how it's called, this stitch, but with French knot. So you make the body, then you attach the wings, which are so cute, and then you embroider. And it's a very lovely project. And I still want to make the second one with color work for my niece, because I know if I make something for one, I need to make it something else for the other. Otherwise, there can be some issues there. So the yarn, I use my yarn as well. This is 100% Merino GOTS certified organic merino, sorry. And this is also around weight. This is not in the shop. I will be adding that as well in different colors, but this is an undie yarn. And for the ears and the face, I use, this is Merino d'Arles. Now, remember last time in my previous podcast episode, I mentioned Merino d'Arles. My husband corrected me because his mother tongue is French, so he told me, you don't say Merino d'Arles, you may say Merino d'Arles. So I'm correcting. So this is Merino d'Arles dyed with onion skins, so it's natural. And I bought this felted thinny tissue that I found in a mercery in front of the other side of the lake, and then I stitched it and it's very nice. And here, the texture, that's how it's called, intricate, right? The magazine. It has an also like a weaving technique here. I don't know if you notice it's a different color to just make pop-ups like the feathers. It just makes you think about feathers. And yeah, that's also weaving. So you can have knitting, stitching like embroidery, and weaving. So all techniques combined and makes a fantastic and a lovely project. So those are the two projects that I wanted to share with you that I made the last year for the preview. So I chose, that was the first time, and for me, making two projects for the preview. Crazy, I don't know, I might have had a lot of time to make this, and I was so motivated because I finished on time. Wonderful. So that is the magazine. And what else? I think it's going to be a shorter episode than the other one, because now I wanted to show you my acquisitions, or the happy mail, I would call it, the section of the happy mail. So I think a month ago I was watching a new to me podcast, which is Knitting Traditions. It is by Inga. She lives in one of the fjords in the, I think it's the west side of Norway, and I love her podcast. It's so comfy and warming, and I saw stitch markers that she had, and those stitch markers are from Isalloni. I think she's a French manufacturer, the one behind of the stitch markers. And I got them, so I went to the website and I went to find, and I got stitch markers that are coming in this tiny lovely, oh my god, I'm glowing it is because of the light. The light is not the best today. Yeah, it's dark, it's pouring rain outside, so, but it is what it is. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I will show you, I will put the details there. So I got the stitch markers, and this one are, hey, hold on. Those are like drops. It's very fine, hard to show, but those are lovely drops. These are silver drops. Then I got other stitch markers that are here. These are square ones, and one in gold. I'm not very goldish. I mean, I don't like a lot of gold, depending on the type of gold. Rose gold, yes, I love it, but this one, those are squares. This one in gold, and the others same in silver. This one. And what I showed you were the stitch markers, if you want to use the stitch markers, or progress keepers. And they come in 6, and I'm using already 3 of them. Or they come in 5, I don't remember. I have one on my sock, the other is in my blanket, so there are 5. And here, look at this, so cute. This is a sheep. So sometimes it's confusing. And this is a sheep. This is a skein of yarn. And this is chocolate. Yes, always chocolate. And the other one that I have is a sock and a cup of coffee. Perfect for a knitter, right? So they are so cute. And what I found interesting is that they look like earrings. You see? You can wear it like earrings. I have earrings with this enclosure. So funny, if you want to use as earrings, go ahead. I like short earrings really. But yeah, this is from Isalloni and Isalloni.com. So I will put the links below. Disclaimer, I buy all of these things. No one is sending me. These are my acquisition, right? So I'm too small for someone to send me stuff. But anyway, I always, whatever I'm showing you, I got it because I love it and I like it. No promotion. If you decide that you like it and you want to go ahead and go and support the small businesses, right? Then other stitch markers. These ones I've seen last year, but they were out of stock. And Steven from Steven West, he has a store in Amsterdam, Steven and Penelope. So they posted that they received the Floops stitch markers, which are these ones. You can use them as a stitch marker because you can, I haven't opened them because I said I will open them when I was on podcasting. So let's see. Let's discover how it works. So you see, they are like these. They have, I suppose, cords that is very flexible, and then you can, let's try with my project. Let's try the product. So if you have your thingy here, so I would assume that you just cross like this. Of course, for this project, this is a bit bulky stitch marker, but for my blanket could be perfect. But be careful not to sit on it because you will going to break it. But yeah, I suppose that it works like that, a stitch marker, and also works as a cable needle. So you can slide your stitches here and then you can pick them after. So I found them very cool and nice. So I got them because in their website, I think they are coming, yeah, they come from Vermont. Vermont is very hype these days, right? So they come from Vermont in the US and they were stocking it. So I got 1, 2, 3 and 4 pairs. So happy about that. And I also got other stitch. I am in love of stitch markers. I really love, and I can tell you that I lost some stitch markers like 2 years ago. It was 2009, yeah, 19. It was a very ugly situation because I lost my project. Someone stole my lunch bag where, well, I didn't have my lunch, but it was very fancy lunch bag that I used to go to the office when we could go to the office. So I left the bag in the train station by mistake, and when I went back to pick it up, no, there was gone. Someone took it, and that's very unlike Switzerland. Sometimes these things. That was very upsetting. I lost a shawl that I was test knitting for Susu Knits. It was a beautiful brioche shawl that eventually I will make, and I had a beautiful stitch markers in rose gold that I love, that I bought in Edinburgh Yarn Festival like two years ago, and I was so upset. So I wanted to have more stitch markers just to compensate what I lost. And these ones are, these are not drops, so they look like eyes. I don't know. You see? This one is not cooperating today. Very nice. So these are like bronze or copper color. And yeah, so these ones I also bought from Steven and Penelope from Amsterdam. They have the web shop, of course, if you can get stuff. So this is it. Again, there's no publicity. I mean, I got from there. And the last thing that arrived, I forgot to mention, sorry, the Isalloni, they also have a sock ruler. Look at this. So this sock ruler, you can measure the feet or the sole of your socks, and then you can the sole you can measure, and you know how long you need to knit. For instance, if I want to measure this one, I would put it like that. And then, you see, it's telling you where you are and then how long, if you know the size of your feet, then you know how many centimeters you know. So how cool is this? So, yeah, that also came with the stitch markers. And last but not least is, well, this I ordered like in November. But because of the situation, the pandemic situation and the delays on shipping, I understand that this arrived only 3 weeks ago. It's okay. No, 2 weeks ago. Yeah. 2 weeks ago I did a post in Instagram. So, and I did an unboxing story session. I think I will be having whenever I receive something like unboxing stories, and I will save those on my highlights. Interesting. Because I love unboxing videos. So I got this set of Barrett & Co., which is owned by Susan B. Anderson, and this is the Wee Woolens Ornament Set Kit. So this is what is that you are supposed to make. So, and this kit comes with their base. I think this is home. They have to. I don't know really. The base I think is Homestead. I will put anyway in the descriptions. So these are the colors that came with the kit, and these are to make socks. I'm crazy about socks. To make tiny teeny sweaters. That's why it is. This is the picture to make a hat, sweaters, and mittens. And these were, of course, for Christmas ornaments, the best, I would say. But I can make them again. My plan was to make one for this episode, but since I jumped in the test knit, so I didn't. So it comes with the yarn, with a cotton twine. Then this is the cutest. Look at these clothes hangers. They are so cute. I think I bought this just because of these ones. They are so cute. So the pattern, it's in the second issue of a digital version of the Making magazine, which is called Gifts. The first time was winter, if I'm not mistaken. So this is, I will put a picture here or there of the pattern of this one because it's a digital, so I don't have here. I will put a picture, and you can make how many of them? I think there are 6. You can make 6 tiny teeny pullovers, and I could make it, even though it's not Christmas. Probably I could use other scrappy yarn that are not Christmassy, so more like general, and put it in here like. And some, well, could be a nice idea, like hangers. Let's see, could be an interesting project. So that's it, the last acquisition that I wanted to show you. And also, I don't want to forget, it comes, you can choose with this measure tape or without. But I wanted to have, because this is, I think it's one of her friends or someone, a maker as well, that works with Susan, that makes this tiny teeny, and they are embroidered and then felted, and which I found. And if you do notice, this is a hat or a beanie. Yeah, it's a tiny teeny beanie. So cool. Then you just. So that was my acquisitions. And yeah, last thing. This is. Do you remember that I mentioned last episode that I am a patron of a homespun house? They are a yarn dye company, and they have a Patreon account which I support because I love what they do. It's very nice and comfy to watch all the vlogs that she posts, her and her husband. So these are part of the tiers that you sign, because there you have many options. It's one of the tiers. Is it called tier or tire? Anyway, correct me if you want. Please tell me how it's pronounced. Anyway, so these are the minis that comes with this tier, and these were the December socks, minis, 10 grams minis, and they are so beautiful. And here I have, I don't know which one is one. I think I know, this is butternut, Mer de Noms, maybe because of the thing, and cider. I don't know which one is one, but yeah, these are her 10 grams minis, and she's having a lot of mini sets in her website. Very, very nice. But I think I cannot buy more yarn. I have a lot. But happy with this. I am collecting all of the minis, and I want to make, I don't know, I can make a scrappy socks or mini socks or like stripy. Let's see. So that is it in terms of fiber content. And last, and probably I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the episode, I created a Ravelry group, which I was doubting about doing it because of the time that represents, but I said I would like to share with people more things. Let's share pictures, because here it's just one way, right? So another thing that I was planning, and my husband was telling me, why don't you do this? Probably doing a live, probably recording something that we can touch. And I thought, why not maybe one day through a Zoom session, right? If you fancy, we can get together, meet together, chat together, and get to know each other, right? Because it's me talking from the other side of the camera, but I don't know. I mean, I have 2 friends that watch the film. Hello, if you're watching. But yet to get to know other people that are watching the podcast, probably somewhere else. Then. So, coming back to the Ravelry group. So I created the Ravelry group, and I will be holding a first ever knit along. So the knit along will be make the blanket, make a blanket, make your blanket. So you can, since I am in the blanket mood, why don't you make your blanket? You can make the blanket with the yarn you want. I don't care which yarn do you use. If you fancy acrylics, if you love natural yarn, this is open to everybody. There's no restriction. So just make your blanket, and the knit along will be running from February 1st to the end of the year. So you have a plenty of time. So I will be gathering prices. I will put my yarn as well as a prices, and I will be donating stuff that I have that probably you will love. And I will be showing the prices in the thread in the Ravelry group. The Ravelry group is called Isalloni Knits, and then you can introduce yourself. There's a thread for introductions. There's a thread of the knit along where we can chat, share what yarns are we using, and then the thread where you can share your pictures. So that will be cool. And I hope you join me to knit together a blanket, whatever fancy blanket you want, or not fancy, or all of the blankets are beautiful, I think, and protect you coziness and warmth. So you are welcome to join it. And then, yeah, that's it about this episode. I don't know how long did I go. It's for almost 50 minutes. So I think I will be wrapping up here. So thank you again for stopping by. If you like the video, why don't you give it a thumbs up? Yeah. And then if you enjoy it, why don't you share it with your friends? And if you have suggestions or comments, please put it into the comments below. But I will be answering, and I will be taking your comments and suggestions for episodes, or what would you like me to talk about? What would you like me to share? And then yeah, so see you next episode in 2 weeks time, and stay healthy and safe, and take care and enjoy knitting. Thank you. Bye. Vamos, guarda, vamos. Eso. Tú puedes. Eso. Muy bien. Eso. Tú puedes, hijo. Sí. Tú puedes. Eso. ¿Qué pasó, gordo? ¿Qué pasa? Está lluvioso. ¿A que sí? ¿A que sí? ¿No puedes salir?
puede salir? ¿Qué ha pasado? ¿Está lluvioso? Está lluvioso afuera, que sí. Uy, pobre mi guagua. Uy,
Here we go. Oh my goodness.